Okay, let's see if that worked. Uh, Everyone uses this foam to film, and somebody went in and turned off a setting or turned on a setting, so I couldn't get it to rotate. Thank God for YouTube. So let's see if this works. Oh my God, and there we are. Alrighty, so sorry about that. We had to Google it, and we had to go and try and find the buttons, and you guys know how that is. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We are stitching out One Amazing Autumn, which I saw Marlene finished hers, and she said it was super quick. So I'm hoping this will be fast, and because we lost some time there. So let's go ahead and get started. I printed out our spreadsheet, and I thought we would start by stitching out the freestanding embellishments. So let's go ahead. I know, here I am. I'm sure, thank you for bearing with me, because you were probably like, she's never coming back. I would never abandon you, unless, like, I don't know, I got hit by a truck or something. So I already loaded it because I wanted to see what it was going to look like. So I put in autumn, and I put in the little leaves. And on the spreadsheet, I was like, 1 layer, 2 layer, because we're going to be using dissolve away, wash away, aqua mesh, whatever you want to call it. They all have different names. So oh, wait a minute, I am wrong. So this one we need tearaway. Let's see how big of a hoop we need. So I'm going to back out of this because I was thinking they were all on it was all freestanding lace, but it's not. So this one, I'm getting rid of that trash can. And let me see, does it fit into a 5x7? Let's see. How do you tell if this fits into a 5x7? I'm telling you right now, I loaded it for a 6x10. Let's see if it'll fit in a 5x7. So you're going to load the hoop size, and you're going to see if it's going to stay within that box. So we got that. And we got, no, it is not going to stay in that box. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this in the 7x12, because the amount of stabilizer you need for a 7x12 is pretty much the same as a 6x10. So I'm going to go here, select my 7x12. Let's say okay. And I'll just put these all the way, or will they flip? Oh, yeah. They fit all the way at the top. And I'm going to just hoop up my tearaway, my medium tearaway. And we'll just start with those, just like that. You guys ready? Maybe I'll move that down a little bit. It's a crazy Monday for tech. I just, this struggle is so real for me. And then I get frustrated, and then I call Patrick, and then Patrick was like, I don't know what to tell you. And then I was like, okay, fine. Then I'll figure it out. You guys know. And then he was like finally willing to help me. So he Googled it. All right, let me go grab my medium tearaway. Give me just a second. Medium tearaway. Ooh, what's this? What is this? Is this a tearaway or is this a cutaway? That is a heavy. What is this? This is definitely a tearaway. And this one is, I don't even know what kind it is, but I'm going to use it. Here we go. And I'm just going to leave it on the roll and just use the very top of it. There's so many things I want to do. So yesterday I did my class, and then as soon as the class was done, Patrick got a van, and so we loaded up. He was all, while I was doing my class, he was loading up. He's getting all excited. And then class ended. We got in the van and we drove up to, I don't even know where we were. We were like Cedarville or something like that. We were in California. And it was beautiful. And we went hiking. And it was kind of a dry run too with our dogs, because just not knowing how they were going to be in the van. They did great. They're barkers too, so I was really worried about that. Like, what if we have other people near us? Are they going to wake them up? And they were, granted, there weren't very many people near us, So it was kind of perfect. And they slept and slept till 6:30. It would have been nice if they slept until 8:30. And then Patrick and I watched Burn after reading, but I made it through like 15 minutes. I just can't stay awake for a movie these days. All right, here is my medium cutaway. I'm leaving it right on the roll. I pulled all my thread. Hopefully it's all still here. And we're going to take this over to the machine. Yeah, we're not messing around. We are here to stitch. And I loaded mine like this, but you can load them any way you want. Okay? So I'm going to take my hoopy hoop. Let's slide it on. Good thing I had my spreadsheet because I didn't get my book. That movie is so crazy, isn't it? It's like the original like train wreck movie where everything just goes from bad to worse. Okay, I'm gonna touch embroidery, and then I haven't even looked at the book. Do you like this? This is like the blind leading the blind. Actually, I'm the blind leading the sighted. You guys are probably like already through it. So if you look at your handy dandy spreadsheet, and I think this is on the website, we're going to page 29. I like to do the freestanding embellishments first, and then I was thinking, ooh, we should have done the borders first. Borders first from now on, because we're going to get it. I mean, if Autumn Acres, I did the borders first, I'd be done now. Still haven't done my borders. All right, let's look at the instructions. So, fusible backing to the wrong side. Let me get my pouchy pouch. Autumn Acres, Scarecrow. Is this Autumn Banner? This is Autumn Banner. So here, I think this is right. Autumn Banner. Right? Yes. Okay. This is what we want. And I want these pieces over here is what I'm looking for. I've been stabilized already. Oh, did she have issues too? I feel like I'm the only one. It's just me, isn't it? I always feel like it's just me. Just looking at your notes. Little productive. I'm still stinking sick, but I'm a little bit better. Like I can semi-breathe now. Before I couldn't breathe at all. We are working on, good question. One amazing autumn. Did you guys see Gloria Sorelli? She posted hers, and she did these really cute scan and cut leaves. So instead of doing these little bobbly things, she had all of these leaves, and I think she said she got them from a coloring book. It was cute. Really, really cute. So these are things we need right here. Mine have SF 101. Do they? Looks like some of them do. I just want to look at the directions. We're going to stitch the banner A placement line directly on the stabilizer. Place part 1 A1 fabric right side up. Stitch the banner tack down line. Do not trim the fabric. Stitch letter, and then you place the other. Okay, I got it. I think I got this. You guys, we got this. Should we color group? We're going to color group. Let's see if we can color group. Do you see how it's doing it? All this, like for all the letters, 6 times, I guess. We're going to color group. Should we do, go to layout? As long as they're not overlapping. And did you see how that all changed? What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to watch for, oh, I guess all the letters are just going to be in, I think, linen. So we're fine. So I also like to go to this button, which is where you can go forward and backward stitches. So let's go right there and let's stitch out. Let me move this out of the way. What color thread does it want? It is calling for A, which looks like linen. Let me just make sure before I lead you astray. That's linen. Here's my linen with the busted bottom. But it still works. So I was like, oh, I'll take that. Linen with a busted bottom. Hello, Miss Joanne. So it wants to do the placement line in linen? Yeah, here we go. let's get all of your fabric. So you're going to need one of each of these. Well, two of each, right? So they're each a set. All right. I know you've been worried. Poppy has resumed loving me, so I'm not as depressed anymore. I was really depressed. But I know if something really bad happens, she is not going to be there for me. All right. That one is, oh, it did the top two. Did the top two. So it's doing the A and the U. All right, we'll just go ahead and lay it down. So you want, pick out your fabric. This is your A fabric right here. And then your U fabric is the mustardy gold. Oh, okay. One of them has SF101 and the other one doesn't. So you're going to place part 1, A1. That is going to be the one with SF101 right side up. Doesn't say to tape it or anything, so I'm just going to lay it down. So my A is over here. Here we go. Here we go. SF101. And just make sure that you cover that part. It's going to stitch back over that. So look at it from both sides. I'm going to look at it from here and here. I'm going to go down. And we'll see if I need to cut it away when we do the next one so that it doesn't overlap. And then you're also going to get the next one with SF101. We're going to cover this here. Just make sure. We're going to have to watch it when it stitches, just to make sure we're not stitching over stitches. All right. Stitch the banner A tack down. Do not trim. I'm going to move this. And when it goes to the next one, I'm going to stop it. So I can just make sure. Oh, I think we'll have plenty of room. Whoops. That's not a good view. When it cuts, I'm going to hit the stop button so I can lay this one down. Okay, this is good. It's not even in the way. I'm just going to cover this over. And let's do this one. Then it wants you to stitch the letters out. Good evening. Oh, you gotta be there when the washer repair guy comes, right? You gotta be there when your hairdresser is ready to go. You gotta be there when your repair person is ready to go. Some things you gotta prioritize. Oh, Mel, do it. This one's super cute. You're going to watch it stitch out. I think it's going to be pretty easy. Instant gratification. So we're going to stitch this letter and the next letter. I think that's funny that it color grouped, but it's still splitting them up into pairs. Yay! You got a happy package? What I'm going to do is I'll probably trim like 1/4 of an inch away from this. And then we got to watch when it does the tack downs. Because there's not a lot of space like in between these. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue. We'll see. Renata, how's retirement? You loving it? Renee's working for us, and she just retired, and she said she doesn't miss work at all. She misses people, but not work. The scan cut for this was pretty easy, I thought. Okay, now it wants you to lay down the other piece. You're just going to lay it down right on top. So place part 1 A2 fabric right side down. Stitch the A1 final band or tack down. Trim the fabric below the tack down line as shown. That's why it's giving you a chance to do that, because it wants to give you a chance to trim the background. This is a good time for your spatula too, just to make sure your fabric doesn't move around while keeping your fingers out from underneath the needle. Oh, see, Renata, you've got what's called expertise. And it sounds like you're just nice too, so they keep calling. And then it wants you to trim the fabric below the tack down as shown. So if you look at the picture here, don't trim anywhere up here. It just wants you to trim right here below the tack down. Let's look at the next one. All right, let's do it. Where are my scissors? I'm gonna use my snips. 3 layers is a little bit much for snips. So let me also get my double curved. Just below. Because then we're going to put on the next thing of fabric. That's a good tactic. Get stupid. And nobody wants to talk to you anymore. Right? Okay, just below. Whoop! Sorry. Did I do that close enough? I don't know. Feel like you gotta get real. Oh, you know what? The stitch goes below. That's why you can't get completely close. You can only get the underside is really close. Do you see it right here? So it kind of goes below. So you can't get much closer than that. So just go as close as you can. That's it. Let's do the next set. Next set. These will be done. Nice and fun and easy. And now we're going to do the next set. What letters are next? M and U. So the M is going to be the maroon. Get your M next. Here's M. And then the U. This is your U, your other U. Autumn. You've got 2. All right, so we're going to lay it down right side up first. This is the M. If you did what I did, M is going to be first. What if you mixed up your colors? I don't think that's a big deal. So cover this over. But don't overlap that. And then here's your U. There we go. Slide it back on. Use your thingamajigger, holder downer, not get your finger in the weigher. Look, a little Momo love. I have dog hair and everything. You're amazed at how fast you got stupid. Maybe getting stupid was getting smart. That's funny, Quilt Wench. I know, you spend all your life just trying to know so much. And then you realize not knowing anything's pretty good too. Alrighty, now we're going to stitch out the letters. Just go ahead and hit start. It's going to stitch out the M and then the U. Are you saying that we are not supposed to put our finger in the embroidery field? Yes, please, no fingers. This is the year. I've seen way too many people come in with wrapped up hands. It's the darn rotary blade and the needles. You just get so tempted. You're like, oh, I'm just going to let me just get that dark hair out of the way. And then as far as the freestanding leaves go, I'm going to hoop up in my 4x4. So let me go get that ready. So get your 4x4 ready. And it asks for 2 layers. These must be really chunky leaves. I was figuring out the best way I could skimp on stabilizer. Okay, now you're going to put the other piece down on top. This is the piece that doesn't have the SF101. There we go. And then do your tack down. Get your fabric holder jigger, no finger under the needle tool. What was Becky working on today? Something super fun? Someday when I don't have to work, I'm going to watch Becky too. Oh, God, Rochelle. Ooh, was that just the worst? Oh, my God, I can't even think about it. It's making my toes curl. Freestanding pumpkins. I'm going to do freestanding pumpkins too. So I will film the entire thing. We'll do scan and cut. We'll go start to finish. So, after I finish this tonight, should I do it live? I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna get ready to stitch out, what is it? The autumn afternoon one, the new Thomas Kincaid. So I'll be stitching that out. Gonna fire it up on the 10 needle. Renata, that can be your first project. Okay, we're gonna trim the bottom here. Yes, I can't wait. I stitch out every gingerbread house, and I'll stitch out every freestanding pumpkin, and then the haunted I'll stitch out the apothecary too. So you'll get it double. I can't wait. Those are like my favorite. I just love them all. So, you know, after we put, you know, the freestanding lace from the store into like a bin, and the boys were cleaning the back and they crushed all of my freestanding lace. So mad. So now I have to take them all apart and I have to repress them. But OESD does them differently now. And so they have more body and they stand better. And so I should redo them. We're going to kit them too, so I'll get fabric ready for you guys. This is N for Nancy and T for Tom. So this side's going to be your N. That's going to be the the orange honeycomb. And then this is going to be for the T on the other side. The OSD quilt ones. Do I even know that? Are they the newest ones? I'm going to put this down. Make sure it's not wonky because this is, it's semi-directional, right? You just don't want it to be all twisted. Whoops. Wrong piece. You want to put the piece with the SF101 down first. Here we go. Nice. Okay, get them. I'm going to be kidding. So we're going to kit the fabric. I'll probably have fabric next week. I'm going to do 2 kits. I'm going to do 1 kit that's going to be as per the fabric they recommend because they want you to do like silver and... Am I doing the right? Are we talking about the newest OESD pumpkins? And then we have it up for a bundle on the website too. So we'll just send out everything all together. Oh my God. Joanne, that was so funny. So my very first nutcracker, and literally I thought I was hot, you know what. I was like, I thought it looked so good. It is, I'll see if I can pull it out. It is so like awful and wobbly and not good at all. And I literally thought I had done such a good job. So bad. It is so bad. Okay, stitch out your N and your T. Once we're done with these, what do we do? What do you do? What do you do? And then you're going to you'll remove the project from the hoop, turn the project to the back, trim each banner on the trim line, and turn each banner right side out. You know what? Quite honestly, I think if I was doing this again, because they're going to be really stiff. I just don't like anything like super stiff like that. I think I would have just used like cutaway. Yeah, we'll see. Miss Cindy, are you going to want a fabric kit? Because I'm going to put fabric kits together. But I don't think they'll be ready until just order the fabric. So maybe end of next week. So I'll reach out and see if anyone wants fabric kits and we'll send them all together. And then get your other pieces that don't have the SF101. I guess they wanted these to be kind of stiff. That's why that's stabilizer. Hi, Miss Cindy. I saw you guys got finished. You finished your automakers. Looks good. All right, let's put this one down. And we'll put this down. And then get your thingamajigger, no finger under the needle holder downer. Cindy, you're not behind. You're far ahead. Okay. Mike is awesome. How can I get Mike to come here and do that for me? Joanne, you're so funny. Yes, I'm jealous of people that finish their projects too. Finishers, I mean, it's overrated. Starting is the way to go. That's the fun part, and we're here to have fun. I was just looking because my sippin' isn't done. My enchanted winter is not done. I will finish my automakers. That will be done. I'll finish it this week for sure. Okay, these are done. Let's take this off. I'm gonna deal with this while I'm stitching my leaves. So I went ahead and I hooped up 2 layers in my 4x4 and I did it diagonally so that I could have something to grab onto because I like skipped, but that's okay. It's like good enough. So 2 layers of dissolve away. Let's go ahead and slide that on. We'll finish up the pennants while this is stitching. Let's look at our instructions. So our freestanding leaves, that's on page 32. Here they are. So, and you know what I say? Because I learned from Dana, who works at our store, I say do 2 sets. And then yours can be even that much better yet, do 3 sets. But make it special, right? You don't have to do just 1 set of these. Now you can put them everywhere. So this is done and stitched out. It's kind of nice to fit it all in one hooping. And if you leave it like that, look, we have all that stabilizer. We just use the very top. So that's kind of how I do at this point. Everything is so expensive. It's so expensive. So if I could save some of my stabilizer, I'm going to. Oh, change to a larger hoop. I slid this on. So if you just do that, you can full it. All right, here we go. Let's load up the next design. Does anyone have any questions? Let's see. I think you guys are all good. Okay, so I'm going to go here to my home button while my camera arm falls. Ugh, okay, there we go. And let's go embroidery. I brought everything, so here's my pocket, and I brought everything in via design database transfer. And we are doing the leaves right here. Go ahead and set that. Let's choose the hoop size. I'm using a 4x4, so I'm going to go to my settings button because you got to know how much space you have. I'm going to say okay. And, oh, we're only going to be able to put 2 sets in. So I'm going to go edit, move. Let's scoot them over. Oh, I don't even know if I'll be able to fit in 2. And then go ahead and say okay. Make a copy. Let's see if I can scoot it over so I can do 2 sets. I'm going to, let me see if I flip it, if I rotate it. Oh no, that doesn't work. Maybe if I mirror image it. Oh, that's fine. You know what I'm not going to be able to do is I'm not going to be able to color group because I know the leaves aren't touching, but the red boxes are overlapping. See how this red box from these 2 are overlapping that stem? So you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to color group. But I'm going to go ahead and do 2 sets. And then I'll have that much more to pick from and put them anywhere else I want. So let's go embroidery. And I'm going to go here to this button where I go forward and backward stitches. And we are ready to go. Let me get my embellishments because I need the leaves. And I did not pre-cut them. So I'll just lay them down as we go. And you are going to need your red. We should have a... Is that our green that we have? This might be our green. Hang on. Yeah, your green might be a little bit darker. So it's more of a like a piney green. So, all right. Let's go ahead and do the first stitch out. It wants you to put in F. And F is going to be... What is F? F is... I need to put a little thing here so I know what... F is going to be Cabernet. So let's go ahead and put in your Cabernet. Hopefully I have all my colors. I brought them home. Do I not have it? Oh, here it is. Okay, put in your brand new to Jeannie. Oh, is my thread almost gone? Thank you. Wasn't even looking. Oh, I think I can make them through a leaf. Let's see what I can make it through. Okay. Gonna take out my linen. Let's put in Cabernet. And it's gonna stitch the leaf placement line. You guys have no idea how much time I spend trying to color match. I was like, Patrick, they're gonna kick me off of Amazon because a lot of times Kimberbell they'll have different colors, but they don't sell them. So then I will order some stuff from Amazon, and I'll order like 10 different greens. And Patrick's like, you better stop doing that because they're gonna kick you off. Because if I don't like it, then I return it. I'm like, oh, that would be so bad if I got kicked off. Okay, so you can either turn it this way, whichever way you want, so it's going to fit on there. I'm going to do that. And then it wants you to do the tack down. Do not trim the felt. Really? Well, we're going to have to at least cut off like the side of it. You best not trim that. Said not to, but I'm going to go ahead and cut away the excess. Excess. All right. Now it wants you to turn it to the back, place one felt piece, and tape the corners and edges. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm just going to put this down. I'll just cut it. Make sure you cover it. I'm going to tape the corners. Tape the corners out of the way. This is transport tape. I like the Kimberbell tape. I love the transport tape because it's so easy to rip. You don't have to use a tape dispenser. It's super, super sticky. You guys use whatever you like. Okay, corners taped. Then it says, oh, match the bobbin to the top thread. So you need a Cabernet bobbin, which, guess what? I don't have one. So I'm just going to use, this is when I use up stuff in my stash, and this is pretty close. So I'm going to use this one. I try to limit myself, although I can't, to just like one of these bobbin boat things. That's it. I don't want any more than that, so I'll start using up whatever's in there. If it's a color that's close enough, I'm good with that. Okay, you're going to put in a matching bobbin. Matching bobbin. Oh God, 3-hour commute. That is so much, Renata. All right, stitch the leaf one final outline and remove the tape. Here we go. Then we're gonna do that with the green. Okay, you're going to change your bobbin back to a neutral color. And that outline is probably going to be your, that's going to be your cut line. We're going to get our embellishments out of the way, and then we're going to get into the real stitching. Okay, go ahead and put in your R, which is aloe. Aloe, aloe. And we're going to do the stitch out. Then we'll put down our little leafy leaf. This will be a little contrast to the pine felt, but that's okay. I like that. You're going to place one leaf fabric on this. Okay, I'm going to put it down, and then we're going to do the tack down. Do not trim. I just love the tape. I like the tape because it's just like stickier. And like I said, easier to rip. Yeah, it is. It's just medical tape. It's transport 3M tape. I'm just going to cut a piece that's around the same size. Flip it, put it down, tape the corners. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Just keep in mind, if you do this 2 more times, like I'm going to do, you might run out. It's your kit's set up to do, 1 set. So, but I'm going to do 2 sets, and I have felt in my stash. I can always pull from my stash if I'm looking for more. All right, put this on. And we sell it at the store too. It's just called Transport. So if you need any of it, you can buy it at the store. Jessica. Oh my God, you're stitching with us. You done with work? Here we go. All right, I'm going to do 1 more set, but before I do that, you need to, oh shoot, I was supposed to put in, change the bobbin thread back to a neutral. Oh, do not trim the felt. Oh, I was supposed to match my bobbin thread. Sorry about that, guys. I was supposed to put a matching bobbin thread and then do that stitch out. I'm just going to leave it. It's going to go down anyways. So don't worry about it if you miss that step like me. Trim the felt on the trimming line. This is raw edge finish. On the trimming line. Front and back. Turn the hoop to the back. Trim the felt on the trim line. Okay. And then you're going to stitch the step. All right. Here we go. Let me take it out. I'm going to get my curved, straight scissors. Couldn't live without them. We were out and we'll be restocked on tomorrow. Here we go. Take your time. I'm going to put this right here. Let me see. I could have done without this trim line. But if it helps you, You're going to trim front and back on both. Jessica, you stitching this with us? One amazing autumn. We saw like a beautiful, tons of, oh, I'm not doing a very good job staying on that line. I'm actually doing a pretty horrible job, but oh well. Just gonna, and it said front and back, right? I would have just preferred to do, to just go trim as desired and just trim a little bit outside that line. Get those threads. You don't want those sticking out. This, I forgot to match the thread on the back, but I think that's going to be totally fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because it's going to get sewn down. Concentrate. Alrighty. And now I have to trim the front of this one. You're eating dinner! What's for dinner? So Kai's a civil engineering major, and he's got like a really great internship right now. And tomorrow he is taking the FE, which is like the fundamentals of engineering exam. So I'm trying to like take care of him and feed him. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go make him a really good dinner. And I'm finally like ready to like be back at work and be full speed ahead, because I just like last week and the week before were tough. It's hard getting right on that line. I'm going to have to trim these again later. I'm going to trim them like poorly right now, and then I'll trim again. Look how bad mine look. I can honestly say that's like the worst I've ever done. Oh well, I'm okay with it. And now we're going to do the stemmy stems. And it's calling for color E, which is rust brown. That's a new color for me too. Let me get my rust brown. That's not rust. Here we go. That cracks me up. Those are like, mine are so poorly trimmed. What kind of clown are you stitching with today? She doesn't even know how to trim. It's okay. I'll make it look better later. In the end, it'll be gorge. I promise you. Yes, he's been suffering. So he's been home for, he's been home all summer. And he decided he was going to do the FE exam. And then he was a miserable troll for about a month, because he's just unhappy when he's in school. And then something happened, and he just decided he's just going to do the best he could, not kill himself. And he's been like, great. Yeah, it looks good from here, right? That's all that counts. Did you start your, Miss Trish, did you start your Spring is in the Air? My God, I love that. And there's all sorts of new fabric. I'm like, ooh, we should do another. There's all these, like, gorgeous gradients. Okay, I'm going to do one more set of these. And I'll just trim that a little bit better later on. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Ooh, that sounds good. Coming to your house, Jessica. Wow. I'll let Kai know. There's so many rules. Like, he was telling me that, okay, we're going to do this again. First is going to be, and I'm going to remember my thread this time. So, like, he has to, like, you can't wear a jacket. You either have to wear a long sleeve shirt or a short sleeve shirt. Can't wear both and can't even wear a jacket in. Isn't that crazy? So, he's trying to decide what he should wear. Let's go ahead and put this down. I was like, wow, what if it's really cold in there? I hate being cold. Absolutely hate being cold. And you just never know. You can't bring water in. That seems barbaric. Whoop! I got really close to that edge up there, but it's okay. Okay, I'm going to match my bobbin this time. So I'm going to go ahead, cut my thread, or cut my fabric. Make sure you cover the whole thing. Whoop! Make sure your hands aren't so dry it just sticks to you. Oh my God. So Patrick and I were talking about, here, that's a better view for you. I'm getting that new machine. That's going to be my that's going to be my travel machine. And then we're going to get a like, you know, one of those, like, you know, the bug tents. So I can, and I'm going to set it up and I'm hitting the road, guys. Taking that machine, going to do we'll get Starlink and then I'll stitch from the road. I'm super excited. I've always wanted to, okay, what do you guys do for handwork? Because I was thinking maybe I'll do some English paper piecing. Like, I think I would like that. I've done like the little hexies before. I'm not like an expert. What's the expedition? Oh, yeah, the expedition. Look at me. I don't even know the name of the machine. I am getting that all the way. I am so excited about it. I love the size because it's smaller than like the Stellar and like the Destiny, and it's smaller than those machines. But the hoop size is going to be 8 by 14. So although it's not 9.5 by 14, it's still going to be the 14th in the length, which is great. So I'm going to be able to use my 7 by 12 hoop, which you guys know I use all the time. It's got 2-point positioning, which is going to be enough for me. Like, it doesn't have a camera, but that's okay. Like, the 2-point positioning is pretty fantastic. Like, you just find the center point and then anything on the radius around it. So you'll be able to get perfect placement, and it's Wi-Fi compatible. It's going to be compatible with Artspira, so I can learn. Maybe that's what I'll do when I'm on the road. I'll learn how to use Artspira, and I'll share with you all the amazing things you can do with it. Because right now I don't know anything. Michelle was our Artspira gal, and she was so good at it. I just let her do it. All right, here we go. But I cannot wait. I'm like super excited. Has a stitch regulated foot for free motion. Does it? Oh, you know what? It does not. That is an additional accessory. So you can get it, but it does have also an additional accessory, the guideline marker, which I'm into that. And when I first used it, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this because when I hooked it up, it wasn't right, but then you can adjust it. And the adjusting looked great. Michelle's around. She's still doing some stuff, but she's on, she was on new endeavors. So not with us anymore. But still stitching and making beautiful things. Okay. Whoops. So we did that. Did I do that right? I'm not even looking at the instructions. Hopefully that's right. Now I'm going to switch out my bobbin thread, which I forgot to do last time. Bobbin thread. Whoops, sorry. Hit the camera. Let me steady that. What do I have? Oh, I've got green over here. Green, any green will do. This one looks beautiful to me. I really don't care if it matches. It's all going to look great. Yes, Michelle has a lot to, had a lot to share. Okay. Oh, guess what I forgot? Forgot to put my piece on the back. Almost went rogue. Here we go. I can't wait. I have been shackled to the store for 12 years now. Has it been 12 years? And we just hired a new person that's going to be helping with order fulfillment. Because a lot of times, the end of the day, the store closes and then I stay just to get everything picked and shipped. Lindsay does a lot of that. So hopefully that's going to help too. Alrighty. Go ahead and do the final stitch out and then we're going to be done with these. We'll go ahead and trim around that line and then we'll put the rust brown in for the stems. Yeah, maybe I'll just show up in your neck of the woods and I'll be like, Trish, I'm coming over. Get your machine out. We're going to sew. And I don't know why. I always imagined that I'd be like sewing outside. Like that's just kind of a thing for me. I want to like have an outdoor space and I want to just sew outside. All right, here we go. I'm going to stitch this out, or I'm going to trim. So you're going to trim around that line, get nice and close, closer than I did. We'll stick around here. There's like, I feel so lucky to live out here. Not that it's not gorgeous everywhere, but it's beautiful out here. Patrick was saying, you know, we were talking about how next week, and because Violet's coming home, can't wait to see her, my little peanut. But we're like, maybe we'll head down to Tuolumne. I don't think we'll go all the way down to Yosemite, but we live about 4 hours from Yosemite. Can you guys even see? Sorry. All right, flip it to the back, do the back side. You know, I haven't spent much time in Florida. I'd really like to go to like the Everglades. I've never done much down south. I've never been to like Georgia or any of like Mississippi, Louisiana, any of those states. I would love to visit those places. I mean, I'd love to go to like North and South Carolina. Alrighty, and we'll trim all of these little threads later. Let's stitch out the stems, and then we're done with these, and we'll get stitching our blocks. Okay, you're going to put in your rust brown. Yeah, do you sew at the campground? And, like, what's your setup? Like, what table do you have? I'm going to ask people to send in pictures. Like, what's your setup if you guys travel in your RV? Or if you just bring your stuff to a campground for the season? Mosquitoes love me. Granada, I was, like, shocked. Because we were in the Sierra Buttes. And, like, whoops. Gotta hit your thread button. Not a single mosquito. Actually, Patrick said one came in and he killed it. But like we just had there were no mosquitoes. It was amazing. Because mosquitoes love me too. I have a featherweight too, but I gotta have a threader. I have a needle up, needle down. I mean, maybe I could bring it. Oh shoot. I forgot it. Yeah, I forgot my bobbin thread. So I have green on the back of this one. It'll be okay. I'll stop it after this and I'll change it out. Thanks for the reminder. Gonna change my bobbin thread out. Got green. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. I was just dreaming about sewing outside. Here we go. Change out my bobbin thread. You know what's so funny, Quilt Wench? Patrick and I were talking about it because my car right now says peace, love, and sewing. And then he was like, we could do peace, love, and travel or something like, or sew and travel. And I was like, you know what it's going to say? It's going to say create and recreate. I was like, that's going to be us, babe. And we're done. I'll trim these a little bit better later on, but I'm totally fine with them for right now. And let's get on to our embroidery. Oh, you know, I was supposed to be doing stuff while we were doing that. I was supposed to be working on the pendants, but I forgot. Oh, well, oopsies. All right, let me tidy up a little bit. I'm going to put away some of these bobbins. Alrighty then. Let's get on to the embroidery. What are we doing? We're going to do blowing leaves section. I'm just working through these sections. And the first one we're going to do is blowing leaves. It's going to be in the 5x7. So let's come on over here and I am going to re-hoop in my 5x7 hoop. And then I will work on all of this in a little bit. We'll pop all of this out and finish this. cut this away, and then we'll put this roll of stabilizer away. I'll put this in my thread tower. And here's my fabric pre-cut for my 5x7. Whoop! Did you guys see this? We're going to be doing mistletoe. Meet me under the mistletoe. And I can't remember who sent me a note. They said, we only need one. I was like, what? Good thing she mentioned that. I'd be making you do 2 on Friday. I totally missed that. Spent all that time doing 2. You know what I'll do with it? It'll go in the back and it'll look so cute. That's what I do with all my oopsies. Okay, so I'm just going to hoop up. I use muslin. Everyone asks why. I use muslin because this is just a base. We're just building upon it because we're using batting and we're using background fabric that has SF101. It is enough. What I really like about it is the way it feels in our final project. Because I feel like no-show mesh can feel kind of plasticky, and I don't like that. All right, here we go. Sometimes I was talking to somebody, and they said they were struggling getting this flat. There's times where I have to take off the magnet and slide it across and do it again. So, yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, we're doing falling leaves. We did autumn banners. We did freestanding leaves. I like this. This to me is like progress, like I've gotten something done. I'm going to peel those off. Is this what we're doing? Blowing leaves? Yes. Blowing leaves 1 in our 5x7. And we are hooped and ready to go. And let's go to the machine. Here, let's go to the screen first. All right. You can make the second one. They love Omar. I'm just looking at your notes. What weight is the muslin? Honestly, I have no idea. I always tell, my motto in life is you don't have to buy the most expensive, but don't buy the cheapest either. So I always buy something middle of the road. This is just, it's from E.E. Shank, which is the people that distribute Kimberbell fabric. And it's a 90-inch muslin, and I don't even know what weight it is, but I love it and it's what I use. So if you want some, you could get some from the store and try it and see how you like it and then buy a bolt, because I buy it by the bolt. All right, I'm going to go home. Let's go embroidery. Where's my spreadsheet? Here it is. And we are looking for Autumn 10 4x4. I have no idea what that looks like, so let's look at our book. And Autumn 10 is, focus, the pumpkins. The pumpkins. And I think I loaded everything. I did it like last week, so I could be prepared. Hopefully that's the case. If not, I'll show you design database transfer. What? No quilting designs. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going to do design database transfer every once in a while. I guess I just forgot. So I'm going to go down to this button. I have it on my taskbar. And let's close these. The only thing you can't transfer is if it's in a zipped file. If I didn't unzip it, then I'm not going to be able to transfer it. I'm going to have to unzip it first. You do need to know where to find your stuff. Let's go in here. One Amazing Autumn right here. So you're going to hit the plus buttons. And here's my quilt bundle. And Autumn 10. And I'm going to go to the embroidery files, block by block. PES. And once you can't click on any more of the pluses, then you just click on the PES. And I need the 4x4. Doesn't want to move that way. Here he is. There's the 4x4. Pick the machine that you're sending it to. I'm sending it to my Eevee. That's what this is named. I'm going to put it down here. Let's look at the next one because we're going to have to, I don't want to can't come back here. So Blowing Leaves, section 2, floral 22. So I need floral 22. There's floral 22. I'm going to hit the plus button. I'm going to hit in the plus by the embroidery designs, the plus by block, down to PES. And then this one is, that one is Blowing Leaves section. So it's going to look just like that. This one right here, just touch it, hit the down arrow. I'll send them over all at once. We have to do Pumpkin Patch. Pumpkin Patch is the 4x4 floral 22, 4x4. Floral 22. That's the same design. Yep. This one's Autumn 10, the pumpkins, but 4x6. So let's just find Autumn 10. Here's my Autumn 10. And the pumpkins, 4x6, right here. So there's the design, send it down, and then we'll send it all over at once. I do not use my USBs at all anymore. And I got to tell you, we already have that one. I was very resistant. I mean, I've had stuff that I could have sent wirelessly for, we already did that one, for probably the past decade, if not 12 years, and I refused to do it. Did we do 6x8? No, we did 4x6, so we need the 6x8. I just don't like change. I don't like having to do new things. But when Design Database Transfer came out, I was like, okay, it's time. And it really is that easy. The last thing I'm going to transfer is going to be the this one, the background quilting for this, which is going to be Floral 22 4x16. Floral 22, which is this one, 4x16. That is 4x16 right here. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Once you have the ones that you want to send, highlight them all. Oops. I got to hit Control. They need to all be highlighted. And then just hit Send to Machine. And that's it. Done. You don't have to worry about ever losing a USB again. Just send it that way. All right. Thanks for bearing with me for that. Let me put this back. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to go back in here because they should be refreshed and in there. And we want this one right here, the pumpkins. So we're going to load that one first. Go ahead and hit Set. And I'm using my 5x7 hoop, so let's go ahead and select the 5x7 hoop. So go to your settings button. You want to know exactly how much room you have to work with, how far up you can move your design. This will put your outline of your workspace on there. I think this will stitch at 900 stitches per minute. And we are going to load the design on top of this. So the design we're loading, Blowing Leaves 1, looks like that. So we're going to hit Add. Go to your pocket. Blowing Leaves 1. So that program that I just showed you, you do need a brother machine to transfer. There's the similar design database transfer for baby lock machines that you can use. But if you have other brands, you can use it as a thumbnailer. Like you can load it and look at your designs. You just can't transfer, which is great because it's free. All right, which one is it? It's going to be this one with the leaf on the top. So this is the one you're loading. Because I know I bought an Embrilliance thumbnailer product for like 50 bucks to use as a thumbnailer. You can use Design Database Transfer for free. All right, you just can't transfer your designs. wirelessly. All right, so here's my design. I'm going to touch embroidery. That's going to combine the two designs. When you're in the layout screen, those two are combined. And now I can go layout, move, and I can scoot it up. Oh, did you see that? Outside of my embroidery field. You know why? I didn't put my hoop on. Hoop has to be on. I mean, you can still move it, and I could have watched for the top of the line and stopped it. But once I have my hoop on, then it won't go outside of that embroidery field. And this has to be down. Now, if you look, I'm going to hit my up arrow, and it'll stop once it's at the top of your embroidery field, which is really, really nice. Alrighty. Let me get my stuff. Blowing leaves 1. This is what we want right here. And then we're going to need our, no, this is blowing leaves 2. Here's blowing leaves 1. And you need your green felt 2. All right. I'm going to give these a little shot of spray. So I have my handy dandy, this is my KK100 spray, and my handy dandy dime spray tent so the spray doesn't get everywhere. And I'm going to give the icky side, the bumpier side, the lumpy, bumpier side, a shot of spray. That's the side that's going to go down. And all of the stuff like this stabilizer, for the most part, it's just leftover stuff that I used from when I did a quilt. And that, like, was around the edge. I just have that rust brown in there. I'm going to leave it. It's going to do a placement stitch for the batting. And then we'll lay that down. Mosquitoes are the worst. And I'm so allergic to them. I love Nevada and I love Reno. I mean, there's some downsides, like, you know, you step off the airplane and every drop of moisture in your skin just gets sucked right out because it's the desert. So lay down your batting right inside of that line, and then you're going to kind of lay this down so it's going to be square to that. But we barely have, we don't really have mosquitoes. Not many. I mean, we get them. Okay, you're going to do your tack down line. We're going to skip some steps. So this is where you go forward and backward stitches. Go ahead and touch that. That's the tack down for the batting. Don't need that because we cut it to size. Placement for the background. Don't need that because we already laid it down. But we are going to do the tack down and do a color that you can see because you're going to fussy cut to this. Not that we don't have them. My poor child is so allergic to mosquito bites. And he went to a summer camp on the lake. And they didn't let they slept outside. Oh my God, it was so awful. And they didn't let him use bug spray. And that poor kid, his ears were like so swollen and big. And when I picked him up, I was so upset. All right. It's calling for linen, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, I'm deciding on the fly right now. I'm going to go ahead and use pearl. Pearl's like my favorite sub when I want something like linen, but I want it it's a little bit darker. Oh my God, he was so mosquito bitten. And if you go where there's a lot of high alpine lakes, there's a lot of mosquitoes too. But not like how they were in Connecticut. All right, go ahead and stitch out the cute pumpkin background quilting. Kai was probably, I want to say maybe about 10, maybe younger, maybe like 8. I was like, what do you mean you took him out and you didn't let him have bug spray? Are you kidding me? Okay, you should have like a orangish felt. Where's mine? Oh shoot! Did you see I put down the wrong fabric? So guess what? I put down, so this is Blowing Leaves 1. It should be the plaid. And what I put down was this one right here. So, I am so sorry, guys. But, and it did have a different background quilting. Does it matter if I swap the fabrics? I don't think it's going to make a difference. Okay. It's up to you if you want to follow me on this journey. But what I did was I just put in the fabric for Blowing Leaves 2. But I have in the design for Blowing Leaves 1. I'm just going to keep going. And, or should I go back? Is that going to make you guys crazy? What do you think? I don't think it will matter. I'm just going to keep going. So right now I have the gray linen instead of the plaid. And when I do this one, I'm going to put in the plaid instead of the gray linen. So just so you know, but I'm going to continue on because I was like, wait a minute, this isn't this isn't what I wanted. So, yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do a placement stitch. So right now it's calling here for Q. That's what I get for talking. And you want to put a medallion. It's kind of like a gold. Like a medallion. So hopefully your brain can make this switch. I have the wrong background color in. Medallion, where are you? Here we go. Here's my medallion. So I'm going to put this in. New color for me. Ah, it's totally the wrong color. Yeah. Keep going. Diane says keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm committed. It's okay. It's still going to look great. Do I have a lot of that going on right now? My leaves. It's going to look great. Don't worry. I'm in too deep. Okay. Go ahead and stitch out one. And then I'm going to lay this down. You have like this kind of more goldish orange. Place the top leaf. And then you're going to stitch the tack down. And then you're going to trim as desired. Here we go. It's grippy enough. I'm not even going to spray it. I'm just going to tack it down and then we're going to trim. All right. Go ahead and pull that down a little bit. You're going to trim this as desired. For me, that means about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. If it really mattered, I would have stopped. I would have ripped out. I would have put the right thing down. But it's not going to make a difference. I'll just be moved over. So when it says trim as desired, make sure that you use your curved straight so you can control that stitch and you're not getting the smiley faces you would get with your curved scissors. So you want curved straight for that. I prefer the 4.5 inch, but we also have the 8 inch too. All right. We just did this step right here on the wrong background fabric. Now it wants you to stitch the bottom leaf in R, which is aloe. So get your aloe thread. Nobody will know. I do deal with a little bit of perfectionism, but there are some things where I let it go. I'm like, oh, that's going to be okay. That's not going to make a huge difference. Nobody will know, but all of you. Oh, that sounds good. And get your green felt. You're going to lay that down next. Oh, this one's so fast. And then you're going to do your tack down and trim. Trim as desired, and then we're going to do our stems in the wind, and this one is going to be done. That just sounds like summertime, Trish. So, Trish, are you at home or are you at a campground right now? All right, leaf on. Put my hoop around. Slide that back. And now it wants to do, I think it's going to be, was it rust brown? For the E is rust brown. We're going to do the stems. And then we'll do the wind. And this block is done. Jambalaya sounds good too. You guys are all a bunch of chefs. Did you say you would have the curve straight? Yes. They should be in tomorrow. I've been waiting. Been waiting for the past month for them to restock. And then where do you go, Trish? Okay, for the wind, it's color T, and color T is steel blue. So get your steel blue thread. I still think I have that like leftover bobbin in. I can't believe it's lasting this long. How many of you guys are working on this one? I told the kids at the store, I was like, we're switching out seasons. Get out the fall and the pumpkins and the Halloween. Gettysburg, Northern Jersey. That'll be fun. Ooh, did I just jinx myself? Hopefully not. What'd I say? Okay, get out your steel blue. We're going to do the wind, and we're going to move on. I probably did. Something I would do is jinx myself. Whoop. going to get out. Where's my glowing leaves? Okay, here's blowing leaves 2, which should have been blowing leaves 1. So I'm going to be using this for the next one, although I should have used it for the first one. So while that's stitching, why don't we go ahead and give this a little shot of spray. Oop! I try not to be too heavy-handed. Oh, that sounds good, Renata. Renata, you're putting some pounds on your hubby, aren't you? So just imagine this was supposed to be on the plaid fabric, because this is what we're going to stitch next. But it's not supposed to be on the plaid fabric. It's supposed to be on this fabric. But somebody made an oopsie. So I'm going to put this on the plaid. That's it. Let's rehoop. I'm going to just go ahead and rehoop right here. Okay, just going to go ahead and scoot this down and fold this a little bit. Clip them again. How many of you have gotten your triple clips? The new Clover triple clips. I haven't taken any home because I've just been filling orders with them. They look nice. I don't think they'd be appropriate for something like this, but like holding on your binding and stuff like that. Okay, we're hooped up. I'm going to watch this. Make sure it doesn't do this and get stitched down. What do you think? Should we, oh, look at that. It's time. Let's put in a new bobbin. What's on this one? No, let's go with a new one. I like finishing them off. But I'll do that when I'm stitching by myself. So happy to have the fill text back. They're like my favorite. All right, fluff the fabric in the back if you have some back there you're attaching. And let's go ahead and load our design. So I'm going to come in here and say, okay, how are we doing? I know, I totally won at Bobbin Chicken, didn't I? Go home to clear your screen. I mean, that was pretty darn perfect. I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to go into Design Database Transfer, and we're looking for, what's it called? Floral 22, was that it? It's this one right here. So load that design, go and touch Set, and you're going to add. So now we're going to add the other blowing leaves. This is Design Database Transfer for me. And I was like, am I showing this to you? And I wasn't supposed to, but it's time. So we're good. I'm so bad at that kind of stuff. So we're going to load this design set. Don't move it here because the designs will move separately unless you hit this combine button. Just go ahead and touch embroidery. On your layout page, they'll be combined. So my hoop is on. You guys see this? The hoop is on. So I can just go into my layout, move arrows, and I can hit the up, and it'll stop. You'll hear a knock knock because it's saying you can't go any further up. All right, last thing I want to do is I want to go to my stitches plus and minus button so I can fast forward if I need to. I have steel blue in there. I'm going to leave that. It's going to do the placement line. My stuff is already sprayed and ready to go. Exactly. It was totally a design choice. I wanted mine to look different from everybody else's. And now it does. All right. I know this is ick because this is leftover. It was like layered, part of a layered quilt. So let me get that off of there. Center it to the placement line that you just stitched. I always cut mine a little bit bigger. Mine is more like, if it's 4 inches, mine is like 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 or 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Take your background fabric. You're going to go ahead and center it to this and just lay it down. And then let's do our tack down. We're going to skip some steps. We're going to skip the batting, tack down, and trim because we cut to size. And we're going to skip the background placement stitch. We're going to do the background tack down stitch. Whoops. I think what we should do is, I think I should take Kai out for sushi tomorrow night to celebrate. In Reno, you can get all you can eat sushi. And it's pretty good. He doesn't let us go out to eat anymore. He's like, when Patrick and I are tired, we'll be like, let's go out to eat. And now when we say that to Kai, he's like, there's a lot of food in the fridge. You should probably be eating that. It makes us feel bad. And then we end up staying home, just eating out of the fridge. Who wants to do that? But maybe he'll let us go out tomorrow night. Okay, getting my pearl. I'm using pearl instead of linen. It's just one shade darker. Yeah, you would think the kid would be like, let's go out. And then we have to eat by expiration date in the fridge. He's like, this is going to go bad first. So we got to eat this. I guess it's smart now. We used to go and buy 2 pounds of bison burger, like, you know, just the burger meat from Costco, and it used to be like 16 bucks. Patrick went to get it today, $25. Remember when burgers were cheap? Oh, I'll just use the spatula to kind of hold down the fabric. Just make sure it doesn't get any buckles so it's like laying flat and nice and taut. Yeah, my child guilts us into eating at home. And buying and eating the food that we buy. Okay, you need to get your pea thread, which is going to be buttermilk. Buttermilk, buttermilk. And you want your buttermilk felt. So go get your buttermilk felt. McDonald's. Oh. I would eat McDonald's once a week if it was good for you. As it is, I'll eat it once a month. It's kind of like a treat. I know a lot of people are grossed out by McDonald's, but I love it. I love it, I love it, and I can't help it. Okay, you're doing the pea. This is the top leaf placement line. Get your buttermilk felt. See if I can find mine. Here we go. I use this. I think this goes to something else, but I'm going to use it right now. Goes to my scarecrow. Do I have a different piece? Ugh. Okay. Oh, I have a piece right here sitting under me. This is probably it. Go ahead and cover that over. So, Jessica, I use this as my holder downer. Don't want to get my finger in the way. Sometimes I'll just take it and like push the fabric. So it looks gorgeous. All right, trim it. It says trim the felt as desired. Where are my curved straight? Here they are. I don't like these leaves. Well, I like the leaves, but I don't like having to go back like this direction. And then we have to keep the kitchen clean for Kai because he doesn't like it when it's messy. And sometimes Patrick and I will leave dishes because, you know, we'll work super late and come home and eat and we'll be like, oh, we'll just do them tomorrow. Kai doesn't like that. So Kai gets us to be better people. What's this little guy? Here we go. Got our first leaf. Go and slide that back on. Let's look at our instructions. And don't forget, I have the wrong fabric up there. Mine's the, I have the plaid. Sorry, guys. All right, so we just did this step right here. Now we're going to do the placement for the burgundy leaf. You're going to put in your Cabernet, which is going to be like your maroon, your burgundy. Kai keeps saying he doesn't want to date or get married, and hopefully that'll change. He says he has so much to work on himself that he's not ready for somebody to be with somebody. And I told him, I go, Kai, you know what? Sometimes being with somebody is what helps you grow and helps you be a better person. So we'll see what he decides. He's still young. So this is the bottom leaf placement line. So get your Cabernet, your burgundy felt. I don't know where mine is. Here we go. And then we're going to lay this down and do our tack down and trim. Wouldn't it be great if all the blocks were this quick? They're not going to be. Oh, when we moved to Reno, there was like no good food here. We had moved from Vegas where the food is amazing. And we were like, where are we going to eat now that we moved to Reno? But Reno has gotten really good. Really, really good. I mean, it's still like, you know, we have like probably like a dozen restaurants that we really like to go to. But still, dozens better than none, like when we first moved here. Looking cute. Go and slide your hoop on. What steps next? So we are going to go ahead. We trimmed as desired. Now we're going to stitch the stem detail in E, and E is rust brown. And then we'll do the wind again, which is going to be in steel blue. Love at first sight. Ooh, you were a young one. Violet was talking about how the boys, there's like a bunch of boys that moved in a house across from them. And so the other night, the boys came over to their house. And I was like, were they cute, Violet? Violet's got a boyfriend. But the other two, her other two friends don't. So I was like, are they cute? Was there like, was it a love at first sight? And she goes, they were 19. So Violet and her friends are 21. I was like, don't rule out those young boys. What if I had? Because I'm 2.5 years older than Patrick. But we were in our late 20s when we met. So it can be weird when it's like 19 and 21. I was like, you never know. Oh yeah, for sure. Next time, Trish. Get your steel blue. We're going to do the wind next. I say get them young and teach them right. Are they still together? Was that kind of weird? For 2 years, I'm like right now, I'm 2 years older than Patrick. And then I'll turn, because he's July and I'm December. So in December, then I'll be 3 years older than Patrick. Renata has the machine. You've been having so much fun. Okay, stitch out the wind. And then we're gonna get hooped up. We're gonna stay in the 5x7. Next thing we're gonna stitch is gonna be this cute one, pumpkin patch. Get your fabric, and there's gonna be some applique. So I'm gonna heat up my iron. Let me make sure I grab the right fabric. So here we go. That's gonna be pumpkin patch right here. So this is what you should have. And then I have some applique pieces that I cut on my Scan and Cut. Hopefully I can find that pouch. And here's all my little Scan and Cut pieces. I thought Scan and Cut was so easy this time around. You know, there wasn't a ton of designs to pull from. Oh, should I swap the ones on the next two? Let me look at them. Yeah, because it's more like pattern solid. Well, not solid, but pattern tone on tone, pattern tone on tone. Okay. Ooh, hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. That way we won't have the two patterned ones together. I think that's a good idea. All right. To confuse you even more, I'm going to take the background fabric from the apple because who said that? Was that Sylvia? Okay. So, Sylvia thinks I should swap the fabric and that makes a lot of sense to me. Oops. I use the patterned fabric right here and then the other one here. If I leave it, this is more patterned, then it'll be kind of patterned, and then more, these are not solid, but like a real slight tone on tone. So I think that's a really good idea. I'm going to swap. Hopefully you guys aren't too confused. And hopefully you just did it the way it was supposed to be. So let me grab my apple fabric. So this is the apple fabric right here. And I'm going to swap that out for my pumpkin fabric. And that way the pumpkins will be away from the apples. Yes. All right. I'm putting this in with my apples. This is going to be the linen texture. Gray linen texture is going to go with my apples. Sorry, guys. I know that's confusing. And we are done with this block. Let's go ahead and rehoop. Thanks, Sylvia, because I would have just kept stitching, and I think you're right. That's going to look way better if I separate those two. I need you guys. I'm pathetic. I need help. Thank you. So let's rehoop. You'd switch the middle blocks and leave the two ends. I think I'm going to go with that because we just did this one, which is going to be the plaid. So I'd rather do the patterned, and then tone on tone, tone on tone. Or you're right, but I could have done patterned on the outside, but I'm going to do that. Patterned. So I'm using the pattern right now for the pumpkins, and these two will be patterned. A more distinct pattern, like bigger pattern. All right. I'm going to cut this one off. When I'm done with one and I can take it off, you leave one on so you can hoop close. But you take off the other one so that nothing happens to it. You don't accidentally fold it under and then stitch it, which is what I've done before. That's the worst because that's all your hard work down the drain. Can't you switch the blocks? Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yes, I could actually. Never occurred to me that I could do that. Oh, the background quilting too. Oh man. Okay, I'm not even going to think about the background quilting. I'm going to leave everything in order. I'm just going to swap some of the fabric and then we'll just be good with it. I don't think anyone will notice. Man, so much to think about. I say that right now. I say I'm not going to think about the background quilting. I'm just going to go with it, but now I'm thinking about it. All right. Is that what you were saying, that I should swap that I should do this? You're saying I should put, no, I like these in the middle. I like those in the middle. They're so cute in the middle, but I could put those on the outside. No, I'm going to leave it like this. I am going to look at the background quilting. I was saying, yeah, I'm not going to look at it. Who cares? But I care. I care. Okay, this is how you make lemonade out of lemons, right? All right. Bobbin looks good. Sliding this on. Fluff the fabric in the back. Make sure it doesn't fold under. And let's think about our background quilting, because right now we have... Okay. So we have one... That one right here. That one is the flower. This one I did with the... Here we go. This one had the pumpkins. What is the pumpkins? Where is it? Now I have to think. I don't like that. Okay, here's this one. This is this one. And that had the pumpkins. Flower. Okay, so we want the flower here and the pumpkins here. Let's look. Yeah, that one has the flower. So we're going to stick with that. Woo! Man, it's tough when you mess up. You gotta do all this thinking, planning. Okay, I'm gonna say okay to this. Let's go into the home. I'm gonna load the flower design. Background quilting. Let's come over here. I'm gonna load this one. Let's set it. And then we're gonna add the pumpkins to it. Pumpkins. Oh my God, here they are. They're so cute. Go ahead and set it. Are we staying centered? What does our spreadsheet say? Spreadsheet says pumpkin patch centered. Everything is centered from here. Meaning you're not going to have to align it on the bottom or do anything special like that. Let's touch embroidery to combine our designs. Let's go to layout. Hoop is on. So I'm just going to go to my move arrows and move it up. It'll knock because that's as far as it can go. And we are ready. Okay. Background fabric we're using is not the one that it calls for. We're going to use the lattice, this one. And it's going to be gorgeous. Mine's going to be so much cuter than yours because I messed up. I'm just kidding with you. Yours is going to be so much better. Here we go. Nub your side. That's the wrong side. Wrong side of this. Let's spray. Hey, oh my goodness. And I still have steel blue in there. I'm going to leave it. Go ahead and do your placement line, and then we'll lay those two fabrics down. How are we? Is this going to be okay? It'll be okay. Happy accidents. I'm really good at happy accidents. All right, let's lay this down inside that square. Get your background fabric, lay that down too. Make sure you have about inch and a half all the way around. And we're going to skip some steps in our screen. So, you know that thing that they told us when we went to training? They were like, stop complaining about it. It's not a big deal. That's what they told me. But I like complaining about it. Okay, right here. This is where you go plus minus. We're going to skip the batting tack down. We're going to skip the background placement. And we're going to do the background tack down. So you really do steps 1 and 4. You skip 2 and 3 if you cut your batting to size. Here's my spatula, Miss Jessica. So I just lay that there so my finger's not in front. And I just want to make sure that everything is taut and I don't get any puckers. That's all. Okay, background quilting. Can you believe how fast we are? We're amazing. It calls for linen. I'm doing pearl. Accidentally cut a hole in our beautiful quilt. Patches that match. Yeah, and you know what? Then you get creative. You're like, okay, how am I going to make this? That poor girl. She got a hole in her quilt. Oh, man. That's something I would do. I would have it under something. And while I was doing it, I would think, wow, this feels really, really thick. This doesn't feel right. But then I would be committed and I would just cut a hole. So that's the kind of stuff I do. Okay, do your background quilting. Let's get our applique pieces. So we're going to need the fat pumpkin and the large pumpkin. So we need this. And we need this. And look at that, I have a piece of thread in there, but that's okay. Make sure your paper is off. And this should be nice and glossy smooth, like a frozen lake. Yes, so they come in a set, Patty. Hi, Miss Patty. So they come in a set, and it comes, I think there's 4 in a set, which I love. because of course I can never find them when I need them. So I rely on that. And they're good shapes. Like I'll use this as a point turner too. So it's my holder downer. It's my binding thing. I have everything. I love all my stilettos. I love it all. Oh, okay. I need to go get my wool mat too. So now what it wants you to do is it wants you to stitch the post fill, and that's in color H, which is camel. Here we go. Artistic license. Yeah, Patty, these are like, I bought them, I gotta be honest. I bought them because they were spatulas, and I was like, oh, I'll use them with my scan and cut. But the scan and cut spatula is kind of wider and flatter and better for that. But these I just started using as like stilettos, and I love them. Okay, stitch out your signpost. I'm gonna get a little wool mat. So when I do this kind of applique where I'm going to be pressing down the pieces that I've cut, I like to use these wool mats, and I just kind of put them underneath the hoop. These are actually wool. They're made by Dime. They're wool mats that are for the snap hoops. So the other ones they sell are thicker, about 1/2 inch, but these are about 1/4 inch, and I'll just slide them under. Where you see all those threads are the times that I forget to pull it out, and I've stitched it down, which I've been really good about and haven't done lately. Knock on wood. All right, now you're going to stitch the sign placement line. You're going to leave the camel in there, and you're getting your embroidery leather. You're going to trim this as desired, and it wants you to stitch it down with the same, I'm going to give this a little shot of spray. You're going to stitch it down with the camel thread, and like, to be honest with you, I'm going to just take this and put it about 1/8 inch above and over, and that way 2 sides I don't have to trim. I will give it a little shot of spray, and if you feel like that's too risky for you, then just put it right down in the middle. This is like, I do this because I'm lazy. I'm like, oh, if I do it this way, then I just don't even have to trim. There we go. Lazy embroiderer. And look, I lost my spatula. So I'm going to go get another one, because it comes with several. I don't know where I did with it. Here's another one. They all have different ends on them. And that can be risky. If you feel like you're not going to be able to get it spot on like that, just lay it down right in the middle. Don't do what I'm doing. I know, don't you love these? They're just useful. And they're pretty. They look like they're the Tulip Pink stuff. All the Tulip Pink stuff has this kind of finish, but these are made by Tooltron. All right, here we go. You're going to trim this. It says trim the leather as desired. This is raw edge applique. So I did a pretty good job laying it down, so I'm only going to trim 2 sides. Actually, I might trim that a little bit more. I don't like my edges, my corners to be super sharp, so I might just roll it a little bit. I'll just maybe trim that corner so it's not as sharp. That's good. I'm happy. Good enough. And I'm fine with it not being perfect. Not perfect is perfect. Very cute. The silicone ones are nice too, and you're going to see Karen loves to use those. And I love that we like different stuff. So trim the leather as desired. This is raw edge applique. I'll show you the silicone ones too. Stitch the large pumpkin placement line. We're leaving the same color camel in. Yes, these are Gypsy Quilter. Not this screwdriver, but these are Gypsy Quilter, and these are really nice when you're like ironing and stuff. So these are the silicone tools, plus they look gorgeous. They're very Barbie. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lay down, whoops, my iron shut off. Let's lay down our big pumpkin fabric first. Uh-oh, I dropped one. So it's going to go like this. When you do scan and cut and use the placement line, it's perfect. It really is just absolutely perfect. I'm going to take this mat and just slide it underneath. And then I'm going to make sure this is down on here. And it's gorge. Looks gorgeous. And this is my Cricut iron. Don't do this if you don't have a wool mat down underneath. I do. And watch out for that leather right there. I don't know if I got it right to the top. Let me pull back a little bit. Watch out for that leather. You don't want to scar it. There we go. This iron is perfect. I've been like struggling to find the perfect iron for applique. And I love my Clover one, and I've used that for smaller things. Some of the things are bigger when you're doing Kimberbell. And then I found that I got that one, which I love, and I've been using that one a lot too. It was just too big. This one is perfect. And that was a gift from Miss Penny. Penny always looking out for me. And I love it. It's like amazing. All right. You are not doing, if you are doing a scan and cut and you did heat and bond light and you fused it down, you are not doing this step, which is the tack down and trim. If you didn't do it, go ahead and do your tack down and trim. And then I'm going to go on to here. I'm going to do the pumpkin stem. Make sure your mat is out of there. Here's mine. When I first started doing this, I left my mat in like every time. It was, and it sounds weird, and then it doesn't stitch well. I'd be like, what's going on? That just seems really strange. Yeah, no. Using your fingers fine too. Just be careful. Right? I've had a lot of close calls. I've had like, thank God I had a fingernail that saved me a couple of times. Where it skimmed that instead of my finger. Okay, you're going to do the stem. The little curly stem. And then you're going to get your burnt orange and go around the pumpkin. Good night, Misty. Here's the wool mat, Joanne. Got it. I never forget anymore. Knock on wood. Oh my God, this one's so cute already. And I love it on this background fabric. Okay, put in your burnt orange and you're going to stitch around the pumpkin. 12-minute stitch out. Yeah, Marlene said in her post when she posted hers that it was a quick stitch out, so it's kind of nice, right? See what we can get done. If we don't finish it today, I'll try and stitch out some this week, and then we'll finish it next week. Maybe we'll just sew the whole thing together. We'll just do everything. Whoops! Somebody forgot to hit their thread button. Okay, I want all those stitches to go back to the beginning of that step. It's going to be, this goes to the next, this will go back to the beginning. If I hit it again, it'll go back to the previous. So now we're back to the beginning of that. And that's just kind of, oh, well, you know what? That would have been important. Look how pretty that stitch is. It just looks like a rope. And if you guys haven't got a kit yet, we have kits at the store. We have thread kits. All right, let's look at this because it is saying right here, change to a 70-10 or smaller needle to stitch out this pick of the patch. If you're going to use a 70-10 needle, I would also use a 60 weight thread. What color is that? Wash away topping. And then you're stitching that in what? You're stitching that out in linen. Let me see about 68. Well, they didn't say to change the thread, so maybe just get your needle. I want you to look right now, see if you can find a 70-10 microtex. Where's my needle book? I got one. Yay, Miss Sylvia. Yeah, that one's going to be a fun one. Ah, finish it Fridays. I know. I need a sip of water. I'll be right back. All right. What's next? That was the outline stitch. You're going to go ahead and put in I, which is apricot blush. New color for me. That one was a new one for me too. I didn't have that. So here's apricot blush. I'm feeling, I'm not, I feel like I feel like next week I'll be almost done with this. But that's like a long one. This is like a 3-weeker. It's because I'm weak in the lungs. If I was like in the Victorian ages, I definitely would have been one of those people that died from consumption. And it's so miserable because I struggle to breathe. But yeah, better. Just slowly. I bought a new inhaler, guys. It was $200. And I was like, when I went to go pick it up, I was like, $200. Should I get it? And then Patrick goes, what's your health worth? And so I got it. Okay, here's my next piece of pumpkin. I asked the pharmacist, I was like, is it worth it? Like, is it good? What makes this different? And he said it had a steroid in it. I was like, okay, you had me at steroid. All right, it looks pretty similar top and bottom. Nope. Yeah, so just put it on both ways and just make sure you have it on right. Because the handle of the iron is tall. I'm going to just pull that forward a little bit more. And I like to just get it right on there and just go straight from above. Boom. There we go. Yeah, it works. So it's kind of my lifesaver. Okay, we're going to skip the next step. If you're doing the scan and cut, then you fuse it down. If not, you're going to do your tack down and your trim. I'm skipping that step, and I'm going to go right here to the pumpkin top. And on this case, it's going to be rust brown. I know, my albuterol inhaler is like $12 or something like that. Gaga, that's my bucket list. Where's your youngest gonna go see Gaga? Ah, that's gonna be amazing. See, I never know what's going on. I didn't even know she was going on tour. I love me a little Gaga. Okay, stitch out your stem. And then you're going to do the decorative stitching. I feel like that's where the scan and cut like really, really shines. Because that decorative stitch is going to be so perfectly on there. This applique piece fits so perfectly. All right, I'm going to take out my rust brown. I'm going to put my apricot blush back in. Apricot. Because I like not saying that well at all. Okay, let's put this back in. Here we go. And then we're going to get a piece of washery topping to cover the sign. What that's going to do is it's going to keep the letters from, the stitches from sinking into the black leather. I have my needle ready to go. I'm going to grab some topper. I honestly keep like scraps of topper. Like the other day, it was floor topper. I found it on the floor and it was just the perfect size. This looks so good. So cut a little piece of topper that's going to be a little bigger than the sign. Adorbs. So cute. Okay, here's my piece of topper. Just going to go ahead and tape it on either side with my transport tape. Best tape in the world. My brother is like, go get your flu vaccine. He said October and November. And then he's like, you know, because I'm immunocompromised. I don't know if is that like, am I just that way because I had cancer? I don't know. Okay, so that's on there. It wants you to change out your needle. So get a 70-10 needle. And when you use a 70-10 needle, just be aware you're not supposed to use your threader with that. I still do, but that's because I have Patrick if it bends. You definitely don't want to use like a thick thread and a 70-10 needle and your threader. Stuff like that bends threaders because you're trying to put something through that's too thin. And I want to say it says in your manual, don't use the threader if you're using a 70-10 needle. Okay, when you change out your needle, do you guys see like right here? This will be a good little lesson for you. Right here, you can see the top of your needle. So there's this little round ball. Your top of your needle should be all the way up against that. If it's too low, you're going to bend your threader. Okay? All the way up against that. You're going to hand tighten. And then you're going to use a screwdriver and you're going to tighten it more. Should never be loose enough for you to be undoing by hand. And it's just a little turn. But still, if you can undo this by hand, your screw is too loose and it's going to fall. I had somebody who was, they're like, my needle keeps falling out. Okay, that's because you're not tightening it enough. You need to tighten it. This is a 40 weight thread. I wouldn't go anything thinner or anything thicker than a 40 weight into that needle if you're going to use that threader. All right, we're ready. We did our wash away. We changed our needle. Let's just stitch away. Oops! Oopsie daisy! Did you see that? I didn't change my thread out. Hang on. I'm going to pull that because we want that to be in, the linen. Unless I was going to do the whole thing in that apricot, which would actually be kind of cute. But I'm going to do linen. All right. It's going to take me just a sec to rip these out. Now watch. I was dreaming about the flu vaccine. I hate vaccines. I just hate shots. I just know how sick I get, so. And I'm like around the public all day, every day. And I'm a hugger. If you're coming to my store, I'm going to give you a hug. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Of course, these are the tiniest stitches ever. I'm going to probably rip my topper too. They're like the hardest stitches to get out. If you ever have to remove stitches, pray they're satin stitches. Those are like the easiest ones to get out. This is the best seam ripper because sometimes you can just rip them out with your tweezers. This is the rip and grab. And then you can use the little tips too, the little pointy end. Ooh. Bet you didn't think you were going to be sitting here watching this today. Let's see what I can get from the front. It's so fine, you can't leave any of this because it'll just be a big balled up mess. Okay, let's see what I can get from the front. Trying to be gentle with this. Whoop, we're almost there. Sorry for your 10-minute detour. Okay, get it? Got it. I think that's it. So these are really the best seam rippers because sometimes you can get a stitch out better with a pair of tweezers than the tip of the seam ripper. And we're good. Back in business. Change out that thread. Let's put in our linen, which is what we were supposed to have in there. Had in my apricot. It was one letter. But boy, are those hard to get out. Okay, I'm putting in my linen. That was just so I could do an amazing demo with the rip and grip. Okay, we want to go to the beginning of this. That's back to the beginning. And we are ready to go. That'll be worth it. Whoops. If we hit our threader. That'll be worth it if we hit our threader. And back to the beginning. All right, 3's a charm. Who knows? Maybe the apricot blush would have been cuter. I feel like these double sunflowers are going to be quick. So we're going to do these two. This is in a, the design's 4x6. So we can just go ahead and do that in the 5x7 or, oh, look at me here. I put a note here. Do both of these in a 7x12 hooping. All right. Oh, you know why I did that? Because I was like, we can color group because the colors are going to be the same. So I was actually, when I was making the spreadsheet, I was actually thinking. Sometimes I don't do that. So since the colors are going to be the same, I think that's why I said to do that. So let's get hooped up in our 7x12 for the next one. I'm just going to let this keep stitching. And we're done with the pumpkin. So cute. While that is finishing, or that's done, I'm going to go ahead and prepping. This is my muslin, and I use the 90-inch, and I cut it, I think I cut this 11 and a half inches wide with the fabric. So I'm just kind of roll it up, and then I'll clip it, and then I'll just keep hooping and re-hooping. Okay. There's all the stuff I said I was going to finish, my pennants. But I was too busy ripping out stitches. That's okay. It's just a reminder to be more careful, which I don't appear to be this so long. But they're happy mistakes. All right. Oop. Perfect. And we are hooped and ready to go. I'm going to swap this out with my 4x4. And that's going to be super cute. That just keeps all of the stitches from sinking in. And then we are also going to go ahead and we'll cut all the jump threads too. So that always makes everything look so clean and crisp. And then we'll take this one and slide this on the machine. And let's go ahead and load in our next design. How you guys doing? You hanging tight? All right. Okay, let's go over here. It's hard to be perfect when you're filming live. It's hard for me to be perfect when I'm not filming live. What's going on, Patrick?
To come to shipping is $350.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to our home button. That's the best way to clear your screen. And I'm using my 7x12. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go pick that hoop size. What's going on? When you go to your... Oh, let me go into embroidery. Let's go in embroidery. And let's go to our settings. So it should take you to your settings, your embroidery settings. And I'm going to use my 7x12. I'm going to go ahead and say okay to that. And let's load our design. So we're doing 2 at a time. Hi, Miss Karen. Good to see you. All right. Let's load this one first. Are they both 4x6s? Yes, they're both 4x6s. So we're going to load this one first. So I'm going to go here to where I go for design database transfer and background quilting. We're doing the big pumpkins that are 4x6. So the big pumpkins, 4x6, 4.5 by 6.5. It adds that half an inch. Go ahead and set it. We're going to add. Oh, you know what? You cannot color group because I'm putting, and I always forget this, but I'm putting a design on top of a design, and that's considered overlapping. I've already committed. I'm already hooped up. You could have just done these in the 5x7, but I'm going to do them in the same hooping, but I'm going to load them in separately. So let's go ahead and load the design. And we are going to put in the first set of sunflowers. Set. We'll use our camera. Have you guys used your camera? So here we go. Let's touch embroidery. That's to combine it. Layout. We want to rotate it 90 degrees to left because I'm all about saving. And I'm going to go ahead and move that all the way to the top. My hoop is on. It will not go outside of my embroidery field. I'm going to save all of that. Then we'll do our next one, and we'll do it right here without rehooping. But I'm going to load it separately. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And let's go and stitch away. Don't forget, we're going to put our regular needle back in. So that's my 7511 anti-glue needle. I know it is because it's this gunmetal color. So those are gunmetal. Take that out. I'm going to go ahead and put it right back with my Microtex needles in the 7010 spot. We'll just use that next time. I don't use those a lot. All right, flat to the back. I want you to be OCD about this. I don't want you to tap, tap, tap. Make sure it's all the way up to the top. Hand tighten it, and then use your screwdriver. I mean, that's a decent amount of tightening that I'm able to do with that screwdriver. I have my linen in here. You're not going to see it that well, but I'm just going to leave it in here for the placement line. I'm going to go here where I can go backwards and forward stitches. And let's go ahead and do the placement line for the batting. Let me grab my fabric, double sunflower. Let's hit the threading button. Sometimes I don't pull it down over the to cut. What that does, if you don't cut it, then it leaves a little bit of a tail. When you cut it, it's the perfect length for it to pull all the way through. Since this is a placement line, I'm not even going to go back. I'm just going to start right here. And this is what you're looking for. This and your applique fabric. I'm going to give this a shot of spray in my spray tent. So while it's doing that, let's come on over here. Bumpier side. And then we're going to have some applique pieces that we cut on the scan and cut. Whoop. Okay, mine's going to be sideways because I flipped it. I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down in my placement line, which is in linen, so I know it's hard for you to see, but it's there. And I'm going to take my background fabric and lay this down. Here we go. Just like that. And let's go ahead and we're going to skip some steps. We're going to skip the batting, tack down, and trim. We're going to skip the background placement. And we're going to do the tack down. Because you're fussy cutting to this, I say do it in a color you can see. Sometimes I'm trimming late at night and I'm like, I can barely see the linen on the cream. So I'm going to go ahead and let's toss in steel blue. Loving your Avenir. Yay! I'm so happy. How's Canada? What's going on up in Canada? All right. Hook your embroidery frame on. There we go. Now we're ready. Let's go ahead and we're going to do the, this is, I know it moved because I rotated it. You see it starts in the top left. Where's my spatula? Feeling naked. I'm going to tickle my fabric. Make sure everything lays down. And then it's calling for linen. I'm going to put in my purl and do that, do the quilting stitch. Yes. I know, we barely got to talk. I was like, where's Renata? And then she was gone. I know, it was so busy. Quilt Show gets really busy for us. Really, really busy. So if you come next year and you want some love and attention, come before or after. Or, you know when the best time to come? Where we're like kind of standing around? It's in the afternoons. Like after I'd say like after 3, everyone's gone. And it's super mellow. We're hanging out, high-fiving, eating our lunch, doing some shopping. Yeah. Okay, what do we need for our scan and cut? So we're going to be looking for these back petals. So these right here. So go and find those if you cut those. I started to sort them and I was like, forget it. I'm just going to put them all. There's not a ton of pieces, so I threw them all in here. And I'm just pulling them as we go. So I don't know which ones they are, so I'm grabbing anything that looks like a big old sunflower. Oh, I think we're going to have to lay them down and see, because I have 3. One goes to the other one. Renata, I was so sad when you said the bed was uncomfortable. You went home. Renata had an uncomfortable bed. I was like, oh no. Your bed needs to be comfy. Okay, what color do we need first? We are going to be using H, which I think is camel. So get your camel thread. Next time we'll set up a dinner, we'll go out for dinner too, and I'll take you to a good place. I always call Patrick the princess and the pea. Look how cute this stitch is. I mean, I just love pumpkins. Pumpkins are the best. This is a 15-minute stitch out, not very long. We're going to do this one, and then we're going to do this single flower. And then that's going to leave us with the basket and the scarecrow, and I'll stitch those this week. What we'll do next Monday is we'll do the borders, and then we'll sew it all together. I think this week I can get all the stitching done. Okay, put in your camel thread. I'm going to be double fisting it because I'm firing up my 10 needle. I feel like this summer has been unusually busy. Maybe it's just me, but... All right, heat up your iron if it's gotten cold. I'm going to go ahead and do my placement line. Are these exactly the same? No, they're not. So these are, the 2 big ones are not exactly the same. So you're going to lay it down. Renata, it wasn't okay. I know. Okay, get your little wool mat too. All right, make sure you find the right one because one's going to go to the other. And lay these down and make sure they fit right because I don't think they fit perfectly. Ooh, yeah. So you're going to have to turn until you find the right fit. Nope. Okay, I got it. That one's perfect. All right, so I'm going to do this one too. Nope. This might not even be the right one. Nope. Ooh, I think I got it. Yep. So I got lucky because this one's going to go to the other one. All right. So I'm going to just kind of pull this back and I'm going to do one at a time. So I like to sneak attack from the top. I like to not even hold it, but just come straight from the top and get them. And you've got a little bit of give there. Like where it's soft, you could peel it away if you needed to and reposition. I'll bring this back a little bit. All right. Perfect. I just love these. I love my scan and cut. We need to do more with it. I'm a one-trick pony. Okay. What's next? So we just laid that down. So trim the fabric. So I'm going to skip this step. And I'm skipping the trim. We're going to stitch the decorative petal out. Stitching with your camel thread. I'm feeling here to make sure I don't have that in my wool mat. So I'm going to skip that step. But I'm going to do this with the decorative stitching. Go ahead and just let it go. This is a 15-minute stitch out. We're 5 minutes in. And I'm going to do the next ones because I want to see I want to show you how I'm going to place using the camera. What do you have on the back of the applique? I have Heat and Bond Light. So the reason I use Heat and Bond Light is because, quite honestly, Michelle Burr in our store loves Heat and Bond Light. And Becky used Heat and Bond Light. And so I watched, I mean, I call myself a newbie still. I was watching her video where she did Red, White, and Bloom and used Heat and Bond Light. And I bought a huge 35-yard bolt. And I think Becky's using, is she doing Hot Fix? Which I'm going to try after I'm done with my Heat Bond Light. But I'm going to use my whole bolt first. But everyone loves Hot Fix too. So if that's what you're using, use your Hot Fix. If you use Heat and Bond Light, I like Heat and Bond Light because I know what to expect too because I've just been using it. What have you guys been using? The OESD Fuse and Fix. Yeah. I mean, they're very similar, these products. Do you need me? Any question? I'm going to come up and marinate those.
Yeah.
Okay, take it out. Pick it. Corn.
Corn.
So, as long as it's properly fused, I feel like the Heat Bond Light is great. I love my scan and cut. So you're so on the Hot Fix. Tell me why you're so on the Hot Fix. Because I want to try but I'm going to use my Heat Bond Light till it's gone. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and put in R. And R is aloe. So put in your aloe thread. Hot Fix Featherweight. Yeah, whatever it is, I like it light. So this is Heat and Bond Light. I love Misty Fuse, but I'm not using Misty Fuse for this. I feel like this is more like better with a fusible web, like maybe a little bit beefier. But I use Misty Fuse a lot. And then if I do the switch over to Hot Fix, I'm going to go featherweight. All right. Placement stitch for the leaves. You are going to get your felt. Yeah, I'm the same way, Quilt Wench. I'm like, I'm going to use that thing up. You're going to get all used up.
Come on.
Okay, I'm going to lay this down. You see, is that getting covered over? Yes, it is. Here we go.
Come on. This way. Hey.
I don't know where my other ones are, so I'm using this. Oh, here they are. Oh, the heavy hot fix. Isn't that... You got the heavy hot fix. Okay, got it. Got it. I think that's the thing. I think maybe you would love your hot fix if it was the, if you had the featherweight, right? Because it's just thicker. Okay, trim as desired. Get your curve straight. I was pretty close to the edge there. I mean, sometimes we just find better product too. Like, I'm like, these are the best snips. And then I'll find another pair. I'll be like, no, these are the best snips. Because I love my... Oh, Poppy's barking.
She's right here.
I know. I've been loving my Gypsy Quilter ones. The purple ones. They're probably exactly the same as my Kimberbell ones. Okay, leaves are on. Oh my god, you look so beautiful. All right, what's next? It says we just did trim as desired, stitch the left leaf detail in stem, and it wants it in aloe. So go ahead and just leave that in. Same color thread, and you're going to stitch the stems. And then we're going to switch over to buttermilk, and we're going to do the petal front, which is going to be the buttermilk, the buttery yellow felt. Oh, now you have to leave if you're going to bark. No barking in here. It's quiet zone. Okay, we have this big old piece of felt right here. Get your buttermilk thread. Ah, the waxy paper back. And it comes off the skin and cut with... That's a big deal. Like, because if you've ever accidentally put the heat and bond paper on the Scanicet, like, yeah, depending on your mat, that might be a lost soldier. So I could totally see that being a huge advantage. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Let's put it down here. Am I covering everything? Yes. Am I covering everything there? Yes. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's a big deal. The waxy paper. Yeah, I accidentally put the paper down once. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, ooh, time for bed. You know when you start making those kind of mistakes and you're like, okay, the sewing gods do not want me stitching right now. They're sending me messages. Maybe they're sending me messages right now. I'm just kidding. It hasn't been that bad, has it? It hasn't been that bad. Just a little bit of wrong fabric. A little bit of not changing the thread out. Today's a lesson in making lemonade out of lemons. Okay, here we go. Got that. Looking good. Slide in my hoop. What does it want us to do next? So we just did this one. Tack down, trim, trim as desired. Stitch the left leaf stem. Did we do that? Am I on the right step? What are we on? Yes. Okay. Because we did the other one. All right. I got worried. All right. Go ahead and hit start. Yeah, days like that where nothing goes right, you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll cook instead. I mean, look how good that looks. Like, you couldn't get it to look that good with just trimming. You get close, but it's perfect. Okay, next thing we're going to do is you're going to put the buttermilk in, and then you need your yellow felt. We're going to do the tops of the flowers. Take out your aloe. Buttermilk. We use a lot of buttermilk. My buttermilk's almost out.
Buttermilk brings all the
Patrick's being silly. Patrick says his buttermilk brings all the boys to the yard. I didn't know you had buttermilk, Patrick. Those boys better not come to your yard. I'll be beating them off of you. Patrick just told me I need to choose my words correctly. He's the one who was singing the song. Okay, give your spray, or you're batting a little shot of spray. Going to bed for sure. Bed for sure. Is that how you say it? Bedfordshire. Oh man, I don't know how to say it. Okay, let's go ahead and lay this down next.
What's your
Sweet dreams. Uh-oh. I think we have to lay it down like this to get it to fit. Okay, just do it. Just do it. I'm doing tack down and trim. You know what? Let me finish this one up. Okay. Kai loves corn. Yeah, I accidentally put the paper down once, Jessica, and but I actually think I was on a standard mat.
Let's go upstairs.
I have never had fresh buttermilk with a little salt. Patrick, can you take them out, please? Don't get them all fired up in here. Okay, after you do the tack down, you're going to trim as desired. Then we're going to do the center placement. I think I cut those on my scan and cut. Well, look at here. Little circles. I can't remember if they're the dark ones or the light ones. So, maybe they're the same. So we're going to put those down next. After we do a little trimmy trim. All right. Lots of innies and outies on this. So I'm going to slide this off. Put it in my lap. And I'm going to trim away. Sitting here cross-legged on my mat. I'm on my ottoman. How many of you are cutting your felt on the scan and cut? And how many clicks are you doing? I go, am I going to be able to put it on this placement line? Am I going to space it well? So I haven't been doing that. I've just been, anytime it says cut as desired, I am cutting it, I'm just laying it down and doing the tack down and trim. You see? Now? Okay, hang on. Here we go. Okay, one down, one to go. I know. Okay. So look, the edges of my hoop are on my knee, so I'm not pushing up. Oh my God, that's so funny. Don't tell on me. Don't be a tattletale. I know. I'm not. Okay, I'm not pushing up on this part of the hoop and loosening it. I was like, I was balancing the edges of my hoop on my knees. Yes, on a flat surface. But I like to, my spirit animal is a rock. And so I like to move as little as possible and stay just right here and not go anywhere. So smart people would take this over to their side table and do all their cutting there. But no, not me. Because a rock does not move. A rock stays stationary. Don't tell on me. I'm going to know. It's okay. I'm very imperfect. You guys know that. So, yeah. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be pushing up on this and like loosening it, making it all sloppy and saggy. That is so funny. You guys crack me up. Becky's right. You should be on a flat, level surface. I hit my needle up, needle down button. We are good. I'm going to go ahead and slide this back on. Looking gorgeous. And we're going to do the placement line. And does it want us to change colors? It does indeed. We want to go to G. And G is sandcastle. Funny. You're like, wow, she does a lot of weird stuff. Oh, man. I am mindful of the hooping, and I'm mindful of the fabric in there. Yes. And, you know, I'm trying to... I'm just trying to stay in the camera's view, too, for you guys. All right, here we go. You are looking for the darker color. Did I cut these wrong? Mine looks so light. Oh no, these are right. Okay, so you need 2 of these. Heat up your iron. Hopefully I grabbed the right one. We have 3. One goes to the other one. A rock. Yes. No, that is like that's who I relate to the most is a rock. Cuz I always think of myself as sometimes I sometimes I'm unmotivated. So I think of myself as a rock on the top of a hill. And then if you push me down the hill, I become so motivated. I'm like working so hard. Work. Can't stop. Until, so here's the hill. I'm like on the top of the hill and I'm just stuck. And you push me. I'm like, momentum, work. And then I go back up and I'm stuck on the hill. And I get pushed again. So, and then I don't like to move. Like my favorite position is either seated or laying down. Like when Patrick goes, we'll start, you know, when we went on our trip, I have my wool mat under here, just so you know. When he was talking about what we were going to do, he goes, we can start with a nice hike. And I go, that sounds horrible. You lost me at hike. Well, in morning, hiking in the morning. I don't want to hike in the morning. I don't want to move in the morning. I want to lay in bed and just be like a rock. But I went hiking this morning. I get up. I like to complain about it, but I kind of like it. Not the mornings, but the hike. Okay. So we're going to skip some steps right here. Let's go. So we're not doing the tack down and trim because we cut it to size. We're going to go to our next step, and we are going to stitch this gorgeous decorative stitch around this that is going to look amazing. Let me make sure I'm not skipping anything. So we did skip the tack down and trim because I just fused mine down with my heat bond. We're going to do the decorative stitching, and then we'll stitch the center detail, and then we're done. With K. What is K? K is sand dune. Well, Matt, where are you? Okay, it's out. Oh, that is a great name. Jason and not going to bed. Wait, I don't get it. Who's Jason? Momo Jason. Oh, I get it. Jason Momo. What's his name? Is it Jason Momo? What's his? I know who you're talking about. Good looking. You know what I like about him? He's not my type because kind of beefy. And you can tell I like my men long and lean, like Mr. Patrick Mulligan. But Jason, what gets me with him is he's funny. And I love me a funny man. All right. Look how amazing that looks. Looks so good. Hang on, I gotta plug in. Plug in. And he seems like a nice guy, too. Oh, I love that you love Sam Elliott. So, Suzanne in our store loves Sam Elliott. And I was like, Sam Elliott? He's kind of ick to me. But then I look at Sam Elliott back in the day, and I'm like, oh, he is he's like kind of a manly guy with a good voice and a good mustache. That looks so good, guys. Okay, you're going to put in sand dune. You guys are cracking me up tonight. Sam Elliott. I just like that Sam Elliott's like a heartthrob because there's a lot of women that Sam Elliott's high on that list. That's a rock setting, Cindy. You too are a rock. Okay, what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to show you how I'm going to set up the next one, but I'm not going to stitch it out right now because I'm going to go make dinner and take care of Kai, so he's got a great exam tomorrow. So we're going to finish this up, and I'll set up for the second one. And do you see how this pulls here? And it does all this puckering and this stuff? Don't worry about that. If you're using muslin, it's so easy to just press that out when you take your design and put it face down into your wool mat. He's going to do great. He always talks about what a horrible exam taker he is and that he doesn't do well, but that kid always does well. Looking good. We did pretty well tonight. Pennants done. Freestanding lace done. We've got to do our scarecrow. We got to do our a sunflower. I'm going to try and work on this week. I will film everything. If I don't get to it, we'll do it next Monday. Next Monday, we'll do a sew-along in the morning. It'll be 10 to, oh, actually, yes, we'll do 10 to 1 next week. Oh, we got to do our apple basket, too. We got to get ready. Home Sewn 3 is going to be coming out where kits are cut. The only thing we're waiting for are embellishments. And those don't come out until I think like the 19th. But we'll be shipping out Home Sewn 3 and 4 kits, I think, together. I think as long as all the embellishments are being released at the same time. I know these are really sweet, and they're sweet because they're like layered and dimensional too. If I didn't have to go make dinner, I would keep stitching with you. Ooh, is 6008 your favorite? Okay, I thought about it. So this is what Cindy's using. I know, look at it. It's such a good color. She's using Hollow Shimmer 6008. Oh, yeah, that would have looked really good. Yeah, it's super pretty. Cindy, yours is going to be the prettiest of all. Oh, so when I say embellishment kit, so there is one embellishment kit, which has the mini quilts and then the clothespins and stuff. But when we kit it at our store, we include all of the like everything you're gonna need, the glitter leathers, the vinyls. There's a lot that go with these. So the micro velvets, all of that stuff, they're gonna be in your kit. So that's what I mean by embellishments. So Patrick's mom brought us some corn from the farmer's market. So we're going to make that. But I was going to go up and marinate some Korean pork chops. Pork chops. All right. I want to show you how I'm going to load the next design because this one's on there. So I'm going to just leave that right there. Hang on. And we're going to go back to the home. Oh, no. Cancel. Leave that. Or we can take a picture of it. Let me think. There's many ways of doing this. I'm going to say, okay. Let's go return. And let's go ahead and add. And then I'll see if I'm going to throw that away or not. We're going to do this one right here. And so it's going to be the pumpkins in the 4x6. So let's go to our pocket. And let's see if that's the 4x6. That should be the 4x6. I'm going to go ahead and set it. Edit. I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. Should I leave that? Should I leave it? All right. And then I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to add. And I'm going to add this design right here. So I'm going to pocket. And we're going to do the single one with the hand. This is the one. Set. We're going to go edit, rotate 90 degrees. So that's totally centered. However, we want this. I'm going to just go ahead and throw this away and we'll take a picture. So I'm going to take that. So I'm touching that, which selects it, trash can. I'm going to touch this, trash can. And I'm going to take a picture. I'm just going to use the camera. So just hit the camera. It'll take a picture of what's in the hoop. I'm going to hit the scan button. Frame is going to move. Say okay. Here we go. And that way I can just bump it down. I'll know exactly where it needs to go. My hand might be in there. Okay, so there's what's there. I want to move this all as one. So if I do that, I have to hit my combine button and do all of that. So I'm just going to go embroidery, which is going to combine those two. I'm going to go layout to my move arrows, and I'm just going to scoot it down. So I'm outside of that. That'll be perfect, just like that. Where it's not going to stitch down the other embroidery. All right, and that's just using your camera. All right, we are ready to stitch. I am going to go up and have dinner with my family. So this is where I'm going to end. And then I'll probably start, when I do the next video, I'll probably start and do it from scratch, leaving it in the hoop just like it is. Have a great night. I will see you tomorrow from the store. Thank you so much for the good laughs. And get stitching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.